For example number 1, we are trying to find the solution to the equation the square root of x squared plus 11 equals 6. So the first thing I want to do is to rewrite the square root equation as a polynomial equation. And in order to do that, I would take the square of both sides of the equation. So the left-hand side and the right-hand side. Now, when I take the square of a square root, I would end up with the expression under the square root. So that expression right here, that's what I would get when I take the square of a square root. So I can rewrite it as x squared plus 11 equals 6 squared is 6 times 6, which is the same thing as x squared plus 11 equals 36. Now I can solve for x. I'm solving for x, so the first thing I want to do is keep the variables on one side, and the numbers on another. So I would subtract 11 on both sides, and I would get x squared equals 25. Now we see here that we have an x squared, so in order to get rid of the square and get the x by itself, I would take the square root of both sides, and I would get x to be equal plus or minus 5. Again, the reason it's plus or minus because we're taking the square root, so we would get both the positive and the negative answers. So then we either can write it as like this, or you can also do x equals -5 and x positive. After finding the solutions, I would have to check for my solutions. So let's draw a line right here and do the first one. So let's check when x equals -5. And what I would do is basically plug in those whatever x is into that equation. So it would be, instead of x, I would put -5 squared plus 11 6. So now square root of -5 squared is 25 plus 11 equals 6. 25 plus 11, that's 36. So square root of 36 is equal to 6, and that is correct because the square root of 36 is 6. Now to check for the other solution, so check for x equals +5. Same thing, we draw a square root. Instead of the x, we would put the 5 squared plus 11 equals 6. 5 squared is 25, so 25 plus 11 equals 6. Square root 25 plus 11 is 36 equals 6, and that is, again, that is correct. So our solution is valid for both of those answers.